I'm Ashley Dvorkin with Fox411.com movie reviewer Justin Craig, and this is your Fox 411 big screen on the highly anticipated Christopher Nolan futuristic epic Interstellar. Justin, I have been hearing so much excitement over this film, so for those who may not know, what is it all about?
This is probably the most anticipated movie of the year. Going back to last year, once that first teaser came out, everybody went nuts. And so this is Christopher Nolan's kind of take on the beauty of life. He's made so many, dark movies in the past, and he's trying to kind of lighten things up here. And I'll get to whether or not he succeeds on that. But this is about this takes place in a time not too far into the future where the world seems to be ravished, and it's just it's dying. The crops are gone, and the only thing left seems to be corn, and even that is on its last legs. So within the next few years, the entire human race will be wiped out completely by a natural disaster. We're not given exactly what causes this. He doesn't get into any kind of politics or anything like that. It's just like, world's ending. Sorry, okay. So we got to get out of here. And Matthew McConaughey plays a farmer who is somehow kind of in a hokey way chosen to man. He's a former pilot, so he does know how to fly, but he is kind of in a hokey way chosen to man a spaceship by NASA to leave the planet, go through a black hole, find this other galaxy, see if we can find a world that can sustain life, and then come back and bring everybody else with them. So it's
simple.
I know, right? He can do it. He's Matthew McConaughey. So he goes off with Anne Hathaway and a couple other people to go do this, but he leaves his family behind, and that's kind of a heart-wrenching thing. And a pretty big part of the plot. Do you leave your family behind to save humanity?
Right.
And that's an actually interesting point that they bring up throughout the entire movie. Did he make the right choice? Now,
yeah, how does it look? Because it sounds like, again, you're describing a very epic film in
epic
plot. So
yep.
What does it look like? I think it's an IMAX as well.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, let me just say that this is a movie all about heart.
Okay.
And humanity and hope. And now I think Christopher Nolan did an excellent job visually with this movie. Okay. I don't know if he's quite the right director to pull off all that emotion. It's a very sentimental film, but comes across completely cold. I felt cold through all of this, and except for Matthew McConaughey, I thought the performances were just okay. Matthew was brilliant. I mean, he just gets better with each film. Yes. But now Anne Hathaway goes on has this diatribe about how love transcends science, and she's giving this tearful monologue and all that, but I felt nothing. I felt absolutely nothing. And that kind of extends throughout the whole movie. There's all these moments of hope and majesty and beauty, and saving humanity, and you're supposed to feel all of that, but I came very close to feeling that, what Christopher Nolan wants to just dig into your heart. Like Steven Spielberg would nail that right away, and Christopher Nolan doesn't quite get there. It just kind of is a very cold movie. That's the best way I can put it.
Okay, so yeah, it sounds like there was a disconnect there for you, but do you think because of the high anticipation for the movie, this is going to be a big draw at the box office?
It's not a bad movie. It's not a bad movie. Let me get that straight.
Sure.
It's still excellent, and it's going to be a massive success, and I think it will become a sci-fi classic down the road. I mean, people keep going back to it because we haven't had we had Gravity last year, but nothing, this epic in a really long time, sci-fi wise. We haven't had this in a long time. It's kind of similar in a way to the Lost in Space TV show. I mean, you have your Mad Doctor in there, you have a talking robot, and this, landing on foreign planets to kind of create a new home. Yeah. It's just Lost in Space on this expensive, massive level.
And you spoke about the stars involved, Matthew McConaughey and Anne Hathaway. Christopher Nolan is such a big star as well behind the camera. Do you feel that it's going to be something where people are comparing it to his other films? Like, how do you feel it stands in comparison on his? You touched on this a little bit because he's known for very dark, gritty kinds of films. So this is like a standout Christopher Nolan film in the fact that he took it on.
Yes, I don't know if this will, in the end, be remembered as a Christopher Nolan film, like The Prestige or the Dark Knight trilogy or Inception. It could be. It could be. I mean, time will tell. But right now, I'm still trying to wrestle whether or not he was the right director to make this movie.
Okay, interesting.
But you can't forget Michael Caine. He's in this, and he's just wonderful. I mean, any scene with Michael Caine hands down, is just wonderful.
Always.
So.
Okay, well, regardless, it is a big blockbuster offering at the movies, and do you recommend it?
I do recommend it. I just wasn't as emotionally involved as I think this movie wants you to be. But that's me. You, I'm sure, will all have your own, opinions.
Okay, well, great. I can't wait to read your full review on this. And if you want to see Justin's full review, check fox411.com. And of course, comment and tweet us at fox411. Let us know your thoughts on this movie, on Interstellar, and all of this week's new films. As always, thanks so much for joining us.